Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi. Today, when not doing another pick a card, we are taking a look at what is deja vu. So we're going to channel and really tap into what is it, why does it happen. I don't really know even how to word it because I don't really know what it is. So I'm just going to pull the cards, channel through and see what comes through. I'm going to move my fan over here. I had my fan because it's very warm up here. Literally in Wales it's hot, but there's just clouds everywhere. This is just make sense. It doesn't really make sense, but anyway, rant over. Let's get in. So spirit guides, what is deja vu? Can you please show me what deja vu is? Help me understand what deja vu is. What is deja vu? What is deja vu? What is deja vu? Okay. We have the Chariot. I'm hearing fixed point in time. Whatever that would mean. Fixed point in time. What is deja vu, please, spirit guides? What is deja vu? We have the Six of Wands, the Nine of Cups, what is deja vu? The Seven of Cups, the King of Swords, the King of Cups. Okay, well that's just a lot of cards, so I'm just gonna like put them across and we'll get into it. King of Swords, King of Cups. That's a lot of cards. The back of the deck, you have the Page of Swords. All right, can we see everything? Yes, we can. The Chariot, the Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups, the King of Swords, and the King of Cups. Now, when I asked the question, I heard fixed point in time, right? And okay, so the way I'm being described, it's being shown to me, we have multiple timelines, right? We have multiple timelines, not just individually, but collectively. So every feeling, every thought, whatever it is, every decision that we make, we can shift timelines. We can jump onto a higher timeline, a lower timeline, whatever that means for us, right? And I'm being shown like a chart and there's just like lines. So there's all these maps of like, we can go up here, we can go down here, we can go into this frequency, that frequency. And it depends. And depending on where we're going, it's going to change our frequency and it's going to change the people that come in, the connections that come in, the types of relationships that come in, all of that. It's going to change that, right? It's going to shift that. Along these lines, I'm being shown little balls, like little tiny dots. And I'm being shown like fixed point in times. And that's where Spirit's literally showing me a door. Why are you showing me a door? I'm literally being shown like a wooden door inside of a tree for some reason. Why are you showing me a door? So we've got these lines, the fixed points are these doorways. So doorways into different timelines. Doorways into different timelines. Okay, bear with me as I get what I'm getting, because I'm trying to make sense of what I'm getting. My brain's trying to get in the way of it, so let me just get into the frequency. Bear with if I go silent for a second. I'm walking through the door, and as I'm walking through the door, it's not that I'm getting okay. So this doorway is a fixed point in time because now I'm zooming out to my higher self. So this isn't like our little human selves going along the little arrows and jumping from timeline to timeline. This is the higher self, the all, the be all, the end all, right? And I'm reviewing, I guess, imagine it like you're playing Super Mario and you're reviewing where Mario is on the map, but you are the player playing it, right? So the higher self's reviewing these timelines and these balls being these doorways, jump into different timelines. And I feel like the higher self is reviewing, okay, we're at this point. And how do I make this make sense? Because I feel like everything's coming to me then. Like, I literally feel like I'm a magnet, and then everything's coming to me. Like, the timelines are coming to me. Meaning, it's so interesting because the higher self is the one driving the vehicle, but then I also feel like I'm looking back, as if I'm looking back at my life. Like, I feel like I'm looking into the past. Like, I'm reviewing something from my own Akashic records. Like, right, I've got to that point. I've got to that point in the story. I've got to that point in time. I've got to that point in my frequency. Like, I've got to that point. And I'm being shown, like, everybody running around, and it's such a casual day. That person's just driving his car, getting an ice cream. That kid's just falling over on the playground. That girl just saved a bird. But, like, it's just an average day to, like, the humans. But they're not realizing they've just reached a point in time that's fixed. And there's a doorway now that they can either go... they can either... Bear with me, because this is... I'm trying to make sense of what I'm saying. There's a doorway where I can either go up or down. Or left or right. Or horizontal. Well, you know, whatever. It's like I'm... When that deja vu moment hits... It's like my higher self is reviewing. Oh, we're here. New timelines can come in. So we feel like we've seen it before, but actually we're seeing it. It's like a double. Does this make sense? Our human brain and our higher self is focusing on that one ball, that one point. That's why there's an extra dedicated effort, like, on that moment, because it's a fixed moment. Like, oh, we're here. Now let's bring these new timelines in. So let me backtrack and try and make it make sense with what I've just been told. Imagine your life. Your higher self is the player. You are the Super Mario character. And the higher self is just reviewing this Super Mario character going throughout life, doing whatever it is that you're doing. There are multiple timelines. The same way on games, there are multiple worlds that you can go into. You remember if you ever played Super Mario, there'd be the worlds at the top, and then if you went down certain tunnels, there'd be worlds on the bottom. And you could go down different tunnels to get certain coins or whatever it is that you needed, right? So the Mario person steering, moving the way that it is. So my higher self, then, that projected piece of energy, be it that little Mario thing, I'm with the best that I can with the frequency that I've got in this world, getting the Mario, the you, to where I need to go. And my mind is like, if I can just get this Mario through world 1, world 2, world 3, or into this particular world right now, I can get them into a specific frequency where we can bring other things through. So I almost feel like I'm coasting. Maybe I'm even on autopilot, and I'm aware that Mario's running around, and I'm focused on other things. Then I realized that Mario, along these lines, has hit one of those points. Like, I've got Mario to one of those points. So now I'm reviewing it. So it's like a more grandiose energy. It's not just like my conscious mind, like, oh, this has happened. It's like I'm looking back. I feel like I'm looking back through my Akashic records. It was that exact moment. That exact moment where I realized something, or there was a development in my mind, or there was a development emotionally, or there was an aha moment, or there was something that cleared behind the scenes that avatar version of me isn't even aware of, but they just never think of it again. It's just completely cleared, but I see it. It's almost like something's 100% complete, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make it make sense so human brains can understand it, because it took me a second. So the higher self then is like, oh, we're in that frequency, we're in that energy. Okay, timelines can start forming around this now. And I'm really centered on that one point. Even though to human beings, that's just like an average day where they got ice cream, or where they picked up that pasta from that shop, or where they, heard that song for the first time. It's like, I swear I've heard that before. Or I swear I was in this car wearing these clothes getting that thing. It's not that it happened before. You're seeing it, and your higher self is going back to review it. So there's like two sets of eyes, necessarily, metaphorically speaking, on that specific moment. And maybe even your guides are also homing in on that specific moment to make it more grandiose. Because it's a fixed point in time. You're on that ball, all these lines, you're on one of the balls, and now new timelines are being woven around you. So there's a dedicated focus, which is why you're like, this has happened before, because you're reviewing it more than once. Your higher self is also reviewing this moment. Your guides are also reviewing this moment. Spirit's with you. Whatever guides you have, they're reviewing the moment at the exact same time. And it's that grandiose feeling of like, this has happened before. Because it's like, I'm trying so hard to put this into words. I'm trying to tap more into like, this has happened before. Because it's something I'm being shown, but I don't get it yet. I'm waiting for my brain to go, aha, and get it and put it into humanly terms. Because I feel like it is happening more than once, because it has happened before, but it happened before it happened. And that doesn't make sense, and I'm not giving it justice, so I'm waiting for it to kind of form. Because I'm thinking of like everything happens all at once. So it's like this map was already drawn out and it happened then. Then I was in the game and it happened then. But then I'm reviewing it back. My higher self is reviewing it back. And it happened then. So it did happen more than once. That doesn't even make sense to my brain. Because Spirit's like, well, it did happen more than once though. Because you're reviewing it lots of times. With different sets of eyes. And we're all one. So it did happen more than once. There's like a dedicated effort on this little ball. And there's lots of balls. Like it's like a massive map with lines and lots of balls. Little dots. And these dots are where you get the deja vu. They're focal points. And they're actually saying to me as well, there's another way that this happens when you know that there's been a shift in timelines because of... I want to do a reading separately on Mandela effect, but Mandela effect is coming up. They're also telling me about, you know, sometimes when, and this has actually happened to me quite a few times, like, let's say you think you've heard a song before and then people are like, well, it's not out. And you're like, but wait, I've heard it before, but it's genuinely not out. Or you throw something out and then all of a sudden it's back in the house and you're like, I threw that out. And that happens. I've seen lots of people that's happened to. It's happened to myself. Those moments happen as well in these little points, these little balls. It's like, well, I thought I got rid of that. Or I thought and sometimes people brush it off as like, oh, that must be a coincidence. Or maybe I thought I threw it out. Maybe I have two of them. Or maybe I didn't throw it out. People will kind of like maybe gaslight themselves in that perspective. Or like, oh, I don't know. It's like kind of like, I'm just brushing it off. I'm choosing not to look sometimes. But at the same time, I feel like when you're aware of it, you're like, I swear this video got posted before. Or I swear that song came out a long time ago. Or I swear that person, like somebody passes away and it's like, I swear they passed away ages ago. Like a celebrity or whatever. It's like, I thought they passed away a long time ago. But it's like shake-ups of that one dot. If that makes sense. Because I always am shown it when people are jumping timelines and moving and shifting. There'll be a moment of fog, which makes sense because those timelines are being dissolved. So that makes sense. Sometimes there's a reboot because the energy's being frequency, like it's being activated. And also, sometimes I'm being shown like a GPS, people are waiting for the map to appear, which would also correlate then with new timelines being woven in from that one fixed point. We got ourselves here. We got ourselves onto this little dot. The new timelines now are needing to come, and it's like a magnet then coming in. But there's such a dedicated effort. There's so many eyes on it. There's my future self looking at it. I'm looking at it. The before self is looking at it because the before self was the one that set up this chart. You know what I mean? So it's like, this was always going to happen. This was always a fixed point, I remember. So my past self is looking at it, my future self, because all of it is my higher self anyway. So I am seeing this more than once. That's why it happened more than once, because it did happen more than once. I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, I really hope that makes sense to you guys. And if you know how to explain it in a better way than I have, sometimes I feel like I'm not explaining it right. I hope I have. But if you know how to put into words what I'm saying in a different way and want to break it down, you can. In the comment section. But that's how it's coming through. It is happening more than once. There's more than one set of eyes. And we forget, like, our guides, our spirit team, they're all part of us. They're all an extension of us. There's a horn outside. Spirit's like, yep, we're here. It's all part of us. It's all one. So we're experiencing it lots of times because it's a fixed point. once we get up onto that ladder, then we'll review. So then you get up onto the ladder and spirit's there, your guides are there, your higher self. We're reviewing that point of the ladder. But for a humans sometimes will look at it like it has to be this grandiose day where we shift timelines. You know what I mean? It has to be this massive day where this big celebration, I have this massive aha moment. And a lot of the times timelines shift from the littlest things, like a karmic wound is just resolved, but it was just clearing in the background of our energy and we didn't even realize it. And then I just woke up and had a croissant and it's being cleared and now I'm on a new timeline and now I'm having deja vu. Because human beings sometimes will like fabricate, like it's this big ending and big beginning, and a lot of the times, yes, we'll have aha moments that can end up switching our energy later on down the road. Yes, we can have spiritual awakenings, activations, that all plays a turn. But a lot of the times, these shifts and changes, they happen on the most normal days. They happen in the most normal moments. Yes, they can happen in bigger moments, but they can also happen in the tiniest moments. And that's what I'm being shown. You're remembering it because it has happened before. Your higher self has seen it. Everything's happening at once. I'm being shown a direct cord to the Akashic Records, and it's being reviewed as you're living it, as it's also being set up. I hope that makes sense. As above, so below, I'm being told. And that's what deja vu is. It's a fixed point that has dedicated focus with more than one set of eyes on it that you're connected to. Because you're shifting a frequency, shifting a timeline. Something's just been cleared so something else can come in. And sometimes it's not even like, I'm not on about switching paradigms. I'm on about timelines. Because paradigms is a big leap and a change. You know, a timeline is like, we're clearing so much all the time and we're bringing in new all the time. And we're getting rid of old points of view for new ones all the time. So these new timelines, it doesn't mean like it's going to change your entire life, that one timeline changing. It could just change an area. Maybe it's the area you look at food. Maybe it's the area you look at partners. Maybe it's the area that you look at yourself. Maybe it's a wound that was, you know, connected to a certain chakra. It's being cleared so new energy can come in. Maybe it's just a tiny cord. But either way, it's a dedicated effort of focus in that moment, you know? And of course, then when it's a paradigm shift, that's a lot bigger then, if that makes sense. That's more grandiose, I'm being told. Because that's when we're like caving in the old for the new type of thing. So that's something completely different. But this is a timeline shift. A paradigm is like all of these lines here are going down under so the new ones can come in. If you want me to do a reading on paradigm shifts and jump in from paradigm to paradigm, we can look at that too. But this is just for timelines with the deja vu part. That's what causes it. There's a focus. Someone's reviewing you. You're reviewing it. Your higher self is reviewing it, and it's a fixed moment in time. And your guides are reviewing it, basically. So it's happening more than once because it is. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I know that was very out there, but if you guys, if you feel like you could explain it in a different way, or you'd like to, or you've had your own view of it, feel free to put it in, because that will add layers to what I've already put down. We love layers, we love colors, so that's great. And second of all, if you had your own experience or you've heard anything like that, put that in as well. And again, if you want me to look at anything else, feel free to leave that in the comments in terms of these videos, and we will look at that too. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna leave that there. I hope it made sense, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.